All right, everybody, welcome back to the Salt Lake City Elk series here on Madden 26. We are in the 2026 offseason, setting up for the 2027. And surprisingly enough, when we did a sim, we ended up winning a ton more games. So the Elks finish 6-11. Not the greatest of seasons for us. A lot of needs across the board, right? And the first thoughts are the needs that they're talking about right there. They're saying we need a right tackle and we need a center, which looks like, there's some pretty decent players out there. The concern is the amount of money we spent on McKivitz. So if we were to just say, okay, we need a new right tackle, that's what we're going to do. You can't just move on from a guy like this and say, hey, we're square. He gave up 13 sacks last year, but when you look at his contract, it's saying, hey, man, you got to play the man. Now, maybe we can move him at right guard. Maybe that could be the opportunity there for us to allow us to kind of strengthen this team, because Fa'alele has not been playing well for us at right guard. We moved Corbett to center. I think that's a potential solution there. But when you look at what we got here in McKivitz, you have to think about leveraging him. And although we have plenty of cap space, it typically happens with a new franchise, you got to think about what are we going to do with players like Fa'alele? What are we going to do with players like McKivitz? Now, he only gave up 5 sacks, and he's not a bad player. It's just, if you move McKivitz in, like what does that do? I think what I really want to emphasize right now is a right guard. I want to get a right guard. And there is somebody that I think we could snag up late in the draft to do so, based on what we're seeing right here. There's a lot of players we still have to consider re-signing, but I think this O-line is not in a bad place. You look at Ian O'Neal as a rookie only giving up 1 sack. This guy was a 4th-round pick, and he's playing pretty solid for us. You also look at we're going to go ahead and move on from Christensen. I think Christensen's an okay player. He just gave up way too many sacks, and he's on the last year of his contract. So my thoughts are we have the potential to cut him this offseason and roll with our with Carlos Magana, who didn't play last year, but he was a 3rd-round pick for us. Last pick of the 3rd round, ends up being a hidden dev, and we were growing him throughout the season with hopes that he could be ready, and I think he will be. I think Magana's got a good chance of doing it. So, we're going to continue to try to build this up. A center in this year's draft could be a possibility. I just didn't see any great centers in this in this setup. So, if we do something, it's going to be having to sign somebody, and if I am going to sign anybody, it's going to be a guard. The wide receivers, they're okay. Vele played pretty well. I think having him play as an outside receiver turned out to be a better situation, where he ended up with 71 receptions and 858 yards. When you look at how it happened, it's when we moved him in to the lineup at week 9, and he has been consistent ever since. So Vele is going to be a part of this setup here. I really like John Mechie III. My issue with him is he just kind of faltered. He didn't do what he needed to do, and he's going to be a decent depth piece, but I don't see him being much more than that. McCaffrey is going to probably be up for re-signing. We're not going to sign him, but Ryan Flournoy, I actually really liked how he played. He had 41 receptions for 493. Really didn't do much in 16, 17, and 18. He kind of disappears in games. So we got to watch out for that. And I think, again, just like Mechie, he's probably like a wide receiver 4 or 5 kind of deal. And we got to figure out how to bring in other guys. Now, Keenan Patterson, when he was there, he wasn't bad. We had him in a game in week number 7, and he was starting to do some work, and then he got hurt. He's normally our returner, and that's where we have to think about what are we going to do with him. But as you can see, the wide receiver group is in desperate need of a change. Running back group, I would say with Algier, we just got to figure out how we want to get him the ball, but Algier and Hill are just fine. Bates is turning out to be a pretty solid quarterback for us. Defensively, we didn't have a Jobo most of the year. I'd like to see Nelson continue and do things. We got some decent guys, but we got to work through it. I'd like to get another defensive tackle to be a part of this rotation here. I'd say the safeties play just fine. Corners are okay. If we can get a decent corner too, I wouldn't be upset with that. The draft picks that we have are pretty solid. We got a lot of picks this year. You're talking about 2 3s, 2 4s, 3 5s, 2 6s, and 4 7s. We have enough to move up and down the draft the way we like. So we're going to pay attention to that. If I can mix some picks in to kind of give us that opportunity, I'd say we have to attempt it. We have to try. So we are up for player negotiations right now, and there's a couple players that are out there, right? Kenyon Green looking for an extension, Luke McCaffrey, Anthony Nelson. I kept calling him Andrew Nelson, but it's Anthony Nelson. He's up for an extension, and he's looking for a 1-year deal, and that's honestly not that bad. I really like how he plays. The issue is he doesn't want to play here. He likes our financials. He he wants to go back to a warm weather state. So if we pay him, we're gonna have to pay him quite a bit. Jordan Colbert, no thanks. We got Tyler Higbee looking for an extension. I think I'm fine with looking at another tight end there. Defensive tackle, Kyrie's Tonga. Cam Sims, we moved him to a tight end. He's not interested. It looks like he's happy we have it. He doesn't like the scheme fit. But if I had a choice to sign him, I'd be willing to give him like a $6 million deal. Maybe we can give him like a $10 million for 2 years kind of deal, guaranteed $6 million, so we can cut him next year if need be. Everybody else, I'm not as excited about. I mean, Tonga would be fine, but I think I'm going to look for some more depth there. Everybody else, I am willing to move it away from. So we're going to go Chris Sims here. I'd like to give him a 2-year deal. Like I said, probably about what is it, $3 million a year. That's $6 million guaranteed, and then we go, what is it? 2 years. So if I go 2 here, I mean, that's a $5 million. That's $5 million a year. That's more than what he asked for. He gets guaranteed money, so it's a $10 million deal, of which $6 million is guaranteed. I mean, that's a fair opportunity there. We'll see if he takes it, and he does. So Chris Sims is going to be our, experimental tight end there. Give him a chance to get out there and play, and hopefully work out. I really like Anthony Nelson. When you see how he played for us, it was pretty solid. Finished the year with 8 TFLs, 1.5 sacks. But when it came down to it, he was always involved. And you see those 21 assists there in the tackling. I just don't know about, giving him a ton of money. And we have the cap space, but I'd rather put it into something else. So we're going to let him slide, let him go. Everybody else, we will let him go. If Higbee's willing to come in for a way cheaper deal, I would try. I just don't see myself trying to rock with 4 tight ends. So we're going to go ahead and let it go. We have $133 million in cap space. We wish everybody the best of luck, but that's why we extended, we gave people decent contracts to set us up for the future and being able to bring some people in. Looks like another player retired here in the offseason. 2 players, EJ Speed from the Texans and Neville Hewitt has decided to hang up the cleats. You got some combine stuff coming up, but let's check out the free agents and let's see where we stand. We got 53 players on the roster, so not a bad start. As far as quarterbacks out there, you got players like Mac Jones, Jacoby Brissett, Will Levis, Tua Tagovailoa is out there now. Tyler Shuck, he's trying to find a new home. Kyle McCord, halfbacks, Tank Bigsby, Zach Charbonnet, Tajay Spears, Ray Davis would be a fun one, 27 years old, decent age there. Kendre Miller tends to have injuries. That's what fear. Isaac Garenda would be fun. I mean, he could potentially take over for Justice Hill. As far as wide receivers, the best wide receivers, right? Because I am thinking about that. You got players like Keyshawn Boutte that are looking for it. a new home. Christian Watson could definitely spread the field there. Another slot guy, Trey Tucker. Parker Washington, another one right there. Naylor, Wicks. Unfortunate, man. There isn't anybody that... Maybe Cedric Tillman on the outside. He's a big target. I believe his catching ability is, decent there. What's his release? I mean, he wouldn't be a bad player on the outside. Him with Vele, big targets there. Wouldn't be bad. You got Yoshivas out there. Burks is out there. Got a 22-year-old wide receiver, Cameron Archibald. No one wanted him, huh? I want to know more of the story here with Cameron Archibald. Why is he a free agent? Let's see what we have. Was he he was with Chicago, and he was a UDFA with Chicago and just never had an opportunity to play, it looks like. I don't know what his downs, but it looks like he played like sporadically a couple of downs. So Cameron Archibald could be a fun one there. No one's really looking at him. No one is trying to do much with him there. Interested in seeing what that's going to look like. Cameron Archibald could be a fun one there. As far as tight ends, Kelsey again, staying around, looking for a new home. Got Darnell Washington, Michael Mayer out there, Evan Ingram. AJ Barner would be a fun one. He's young, 25 years old. But he's a very, very good target. Looking at some O-line, of course, you got Broderick Jones out there trying to find a new place. He was with the Steelers. They didn't sign him. Kind of surprising there. You have Joel Bitonio, good veteran guard right there, still sticking around. I mean, if he could play right guard, I think that would help us out. Doesn't fit our scheme, but that could make it work right there. Ryan Kelly, a very solid center. There's some pretty good centers out there. Elgin Jenkins is out there. Tyler Beadiz, 29 years old. Brendel's out there. You got JMS from the Giants that's out there. Jarrett Patterson. There are some centers here I'd be willing to spend some money on to kind of solidify this O-line. Austin Corbett is still there. But if you could move Corbett to right guard, maybe that helps us out in that space. And that's something we can consider. I mean, you do got Cody Mock, 28 years old. This good dude's a dog. And then right behind him is a Eagle guard right there. I mean, you got Osiris Torrance for the Bills. He's freaking solid. Shaq Mason, good veteran there. Right tackle Ryan O'Neal is there. I mean, he is a very good guard tackle. And you got Brown too. So, I mean, you could spend the money on a tackle, move McKivitz in and be cool, or you can go ahead and grab the guard and Cody Mock and work it, or you can just grab a really solid center, move Corbett to right guard, and then kind of roll like that. A lot of options there. There are some really good edge rushers I'm seeing. Will McDonald coming over, he's a former Jet. Thule, former Charger, looking for a new. He's only 24 years old. Zaven Collins, very good veteran from the Cardinals. And Wosu from the Seahawks there. Lucas Van Ness, looking for a new home, and he's looking he does not want to be around anything. He wants to win. So if we paid him, like if we decided to bring him here, we'd have to pay him a lot of money. I am looking for some veteran, some defensive tackles there to help us out. And this is where I'm like, man, maybe we just kind of go a little bit crazy here and snag some really nice pieces because we have the cap. But we do have a lot of draft picks. So do you snag up all these players now and be like, okay, we need it? Or do you go after some pieces like a Hoyt or a Tyree Wilson and kind of build these guys from the get? Tyree is very young. So you get some of this youth here to help us out, and you kind of keep building. There's some Sam linebackers out here. No one that crazy. Mike linebackers, Beltney, Barton, Wilson, Barnes, Tavai. You're looking at D. Winters from the Niners. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad play. We got Ivan Pace there. But if you moved Ivan to the Mike... if you moved D to the Mike, that might work out right there. And, you get a guy that could rock the green dot and be cool with it. I wouldn't be upset with it. There isn't too many Mikes out there that I think can control this for us. So that wouldn't be bad. As far as corners, there's some really good ones. Garrett Williams. This is a former Cardinal here. 26 years old. The reason why they extend him, they brought Will Johnson in, so they don't want to spend that money. But, we bring another corner in this mix to just compete. I wouldn't be upset with that. You got some free safeties out there in Adarius Washington. I think he's a Raven. You got Xavier Woods out there. Kobe Bryant. I think we have, we got Nick Cross out there. So I don't really see the reason to go after his safety, but holy heck, there is a really good one right there in Brian Branch. Now, if we went after Brian Branch, we got Isaiah Simmons, got Darnell Savage. That doesn't mean much to me. But are you willing to spend $122 million on a safety? That's my thing with it. Everybody wants Brian Branch. Now you get him and Nick Cross, you settle that center field there with ease and you don't sweat it. As far as kickers, I think, we're fine. We got Spencer Schrader for another couple years. We got Stonehouse. I'm not worried about my guys there. I don't believe we need a long snapper. I think we got our guy for a little bit. So, this is not the craziest of free agent markets, but there's definitely a need, and I got to think through that, and we'll go from there. I'll let you know what we sign. So here are the players we decided to sign. It wasn't a crazy free agency market for us like last year, where we had to establish a team. This year, it was about making sure we picked some players that I think can really help us out, and really just fine tune it. Maybe even find some discounted players and find the value there. We went after Biadiz. He's one of the better centers that are out there now. We have Corbett, but I'm going to move Corbett to probably back up at left guard once again, and kind of rock with Biadiz. I think this is going to help us out. He's 29 years old. Signing him for a 3-year deal for about $35 million, $36 million is a steal, in my opinion. Pretty much $12 million a year for a center that is still very young and can probably play for at least the next 3 years. Went after a backup running back. Ty J. Spears to me could be that guy that will replace Justice Hill, either now or in the future. So we want to make sure we have that piece there to help us out. Then I went after Cody Mock. I think the initial plan was move Corbett to right guard and kind of roll it there. But I think Cody Mock is a true right guard, and I think he's going to be a solid player for us at 28 years old. A 4-year deal, $66 million, a little bit more of a bigger price tag there, but in my opinion, it's worth it. Having a guy like Cody Mock along with Biadiz, that line now is set to help out Jay Bates. I went after Garrett Williams from the Cardinals, 26 years old, very young. He could play on the outside along with Asante Samuel, see who's going to truly be that CB1 for the team. Got a steal, $6.5 million for a 1-year deal for someone like Uchenna Nwosu. This dude was a former Charger, went to the Seahawks. The dude is great off the edge, helps us out. We have that rotation now to move forward. Picked up another youngster here, former first rounder Tyree Wilson from the Raiders, a 2-year deal for $17 million. Can't complain. You get 2 players here for the edge to help us out and work that rotation, and who knows, maybe we draft well too. I really like Malik Collins helping us out on the D-tackle side. That gives us a pretty solid rotation on the line, and hopefully we'll be able to work through that. Got a steal, Isaac Garendo. Can't complain. $3 million for 2 years. Great player that's got ridiculous speed, and again, can help us out. He could be a third down back. He could be potentially on the early downs. We can get some help there. Also got a steal with Cedric Tillman. He wanted to play for us, and we got him for a $2 million deal, only $500,000 guaranteed. Cameron Archibald is the steal, in my opinion. 73 years old, 73 overall, 22 years old out of Purdue. Was on the Chicago Bears team. But when I look at Cameron Archibald, you have a guy that can play kick return, help us out there. He has some great ability to catch, good short run. So we got another slot guy that can help us out. I think that he's going to be a sneaky player for us. And then I went after Tyler Shuck, $13 million for a backup QB. Early, I think he was a 2nd-round pick. Older, of course, but you can't complain there. You look at a guy like him, he was a early 2nd-round pick. And that's more than helpful for us. We got Malik Willis, but I want to make sure that we have a solid, good group of players in the QB range, in the QB room. As far as other players that signed, it looks like some big ones occurred. Brian Branch took a freaking ridiculous paycheck there. You're talking about $112 million deal. It's like some insane number there for 5 years to play for the Cardinals. What are you going to do with Buda Baker? Ryan Kelly going to the Rams. Brian O'Neill is an Eagle. Kenny Moore leaves the Colts and goes to the Jags. Jenkins is a center for the Giants. Zach Sealer to the Jets. Joel Matonio is also a Jet. Kelsey going to the Rams. Ooh, okay. Trent Brown is a card. It's pretty Charbonnet to the Titans. Keyshawn Boutte is a Saint. D. Winters going to the Texans. DJ Reader there is a Cardinal. Christian Watson to the Browns. Oh no. Trey Tucker is a Ram. Will McDonald, I was trying to bring him in, but it looks like he was willing to take the deal to go back to the team that he knows, and $26.6 million is what did it for him. He's heading back to New York. Thule to the Cards. Christian Fulton is a Panther. Kenny Clark is a Jag. And Derek Hall a Commander. Some pretty good pickups right there. Liking what I'm seeing so far. But now I'm really looking forward to this draft. So we have 49 players on our board, and I'm pretty excited to see all of them right now. It's really helping us out here, but as you can see, we got a couple of players that, if they happen to fall to us, great. One player that I'm looking for is Chase Underwood. Solid defensive tackle. Has all the attributes to really help us out. I mean, we found the dog in Griffith, but you always want to continue to build that in the trenches and work through it. I did find this right tackle here in Alan Cox. McKivitz isn't the future for us. He's pretty much the present. So you find a right tackle that you can love, and he was projected to be in the first round, but his overall is closer to the second and third. So maybe we wait for him. He's considered the best right tackle in the draft. So maybe he falls to us. Maybe he doesn't. Probably doesn't. There's a couple players here that are kind of fitting in the range where they're at. Some that are a little overvalued from an OVR standpoint, but like Matt Sloan, he's got that finesse ability already. Kind of an Nwosu guy, and when you bring him in, maybe you can help him out from the get there. As far as the mid rounds, I mean, you got a guy that's considered a third, fourth round projection, but he's got the value of it second and third. I mean, you can't be upset about that. The wide receiver's got the speed there, and at 5'8", he could probably disappear in the crowd, especially during man coverage. A couple day three guys that are rounded in the four. Those are the wide receivers there that I'm pumped about. But this is the UDFA stuff. There is one wide receiver, Philip Silvers, slot receiver, 6 foot, 185, A catching, and that's pretty much it. It's going to take him a little bit to develop. His combine was horrendous, but if his overall is already there, his short route, he could help us out, maybe be the future slot receiver for this squad here. I don't think you can complain about that. When you look at the other UDFAs that are out there, we found some good diamonds in the rough right now. Day 3 looks like there's some wide receivers we could snag up there, but look at this, we got a guard that is a freaking second and third rounder here. I mean, we do got Cody Mock, but you always want to continue to draft O-linemen. You don't stop just because you find some. You kind of make it work. So there's some wide receivers that look like they could fit there, but I really am a fan of finding some of these guys here. Christie, a left guard, he's got that round 3-4 range right there. That would really help us out. There's only a couple players that I picked that I thought were okay in the range that they're at. Day 3, Chad Richards. He's the most athletic tight end that I saw there, and I mean, he's not going to be the greatest of players, but as long as he can catch a little bit, he can block a little bit, I mean, maybe we got a future there, because Sims is the experimental piece. Maybe he works, maybe he doesn't. You never know. I found this running back too that's considered a round 1-2 kind of player. And, I mean, he's ridiculously fast, very agile. And, you want to make sure that that backfield is always going to have a deadly weapon. There was some Sam linebackers I was looking at. I thought they were pretty solid here. There's one that I actually scouted. That was Cam Hurst. excellent zone coverage, pursuit and tackling, and good block shed. Not the fastest of guy, but I just need him to be able to attack when he needs to. And I mean, if he's got 1 to 2 talent value, we have 2 third-round picks. Why the heck not? Why not try to snag him up, allow us to get comfortable there and continue to grow? So it looks like, mid-rounds, we could probably go heavy on wide receivers. I would say early in the draft, you probably want to go a little more heavier on defense if we can, or an O-lineman if possible. There was an O-lineman I was looking at here in the second round projection. He's 6'8", 334, and that's Shelton McCree from Oklahoma. We got Magana that's going to take the opportunity, but we found Magana in the mid round. Why not look for another guy that can kind of work out? He's got good pass block, great awareness. I mean, that's a good step forward to build upon. And if we could find pieces on the O-line to work through it, then you let go of the pieces that we had to kind of be those Band-Aids for us. So I like what I'm seeing. I think we got a good group. Looks like late rounds, we could snag up a ton of UDFAs that can work through it. Maybe we trade up, maybe we don't. We already have 64 players on the roster. So, I mean, we could use all the draft picks, but we technically don't need to. But here we go. We're going to jump into the draft. So the first pick is up, and the Commanders are the number 1 overall pick. Do we want to move up? Not really. Commanders are going to take Landon Shepard, right edge. So he goes off the board. The Vikings are up. They're going to go Rudy Hall, the left tackle. He was so solid, but I think when you have a player or prospect in Magana, you got to try it out and see what you can do there. You got Andy Morgan going to the Steelers there. They need a guard and they take him. And then you got the Browns going at Chase Underwood, defensive tackle. So I thought he was going to make it to us. He did not. 5th overall pick, Mike Cunningham, defensive tackle. So everyone's feeling the tackle situation. Tom Hampton, right edge. And then here we are, folks. So this is what I'm talking about right here. So let's see what would happen if we traded back, right? We continue to accumulate picks. It looks like the Browns are saying, hey, man, we want to get back in, but we're going to give you future. Vikings says we'll do the same thing. We'll give you our 2nd round, and we'll give you a 1st round next year or in the future. We'll give you our 4th, 5th this year, 6th and 7th. Seahawks says, hey, man, you move back a little bit. We'll give you a 4th rounder and a 6th rounder this year, along with the future 7th. Saints said, hey, man, we'll give you a 4th next year. Rams are going to give us their 1st this year, 1st next year, 4th next year, and a 6th this year to move back 20 spots. Raiders, and none of these seem intriguing at all. Like, none of them. I mean, the Eagles is the only one where they're trying to give us a 1st this year, 1st next year, but I just don't feel it. I think you play smart here, you go after the players, and you make a good decision here. As much as I would like to take a wide receiver, as there are 2 that are above him, we know Alan Wilcox is going to have an overall in the 2nd or 3rd round. But this guy's got great awareness from the get. He's a 1st rounder that has all the attributes to scream like this guy can be great. I'm hoping he has a hidden dev. He's only 21 years old, so he's going to stay behind McKivitz for 1 year, just like what we did with Magana. Don't force him to play the 1st year. Allow him to grow and roll with it. So we're going to take him here. Alan Wilcox is an Elk, B-, 52 in true value. Drafted him at number 7, but look at all that right there. It says he's great. Instincts help easily locate incoming pressure. Quick hands and feet pose problems for speed rushers. Excellent run blocker. Hidden dev. 90 strength, 77 speed, 85 acceleration. This dude is going to have an opportunity to grow with us. He's got some injury issues, so we'll let him develop and we'll let him work through it. Now, do we want to move up in the draft right now? I don't think so. I mean, it looks like the QBs are going to start to move. Cody Samuel, Eric Fernandez, defensive tackle. There was a lot of DTs in this draft that were projected to be early, and it looks like everyone's trying to work that. Damian Washington looks solid. The drafting of Garrett Williams is one of the reasons why I didn't need to go after a CB. As much as I think that could have been great, I just didn't think there was a necessary need there. I think we have plenty of corners to do some good things, and you rock with what you got. Johnny Mayer for the Seahawks, nothing there. So we're going to go ahead and sim here, get us to our pick in the second round. So a couple players got taken, Sloan and Fasara, Mark Frazier, Shannon McCree. So some pretty decent players got taken, and we're up now. I mean, I'm deciding between these two receivers here. It is David Peoples and Josh Garcia, 6'1", 182, a little bit smaller, better 4-time, and he's stronger. He's on the top of the board. His overall screams it. He had a great shuttle, and his broad jump is well above the rest. But I am looking at David Peoples. His cone wasn't too far away, but he had that 4.26, and his overall is going to start off greater. So if we had to choose between these two here, I want to now decide how that's going to be done as far as attributes are concerned. And both of these guys are pretty much up there except the awareness. So that's the deciding factor right there that I could see. Break tackle also in favor of Josh Garcia. I think the catching is also there as well for both. Spec catch, though, is for David Peoples from Texas. Short is better. Mid's not great. Deep route goes to David Peoples, and the release, though, goes to Josh Garcia. So these are smaller guys, but, you know, now I want to know the difference. You got 22 years old right here. I mean, people are screaming like he could not be that incredible, but the speed is the speed, and you can't teach speed. You want to get these guys. He's got kick return ability, which we did that with Archibald too. So, I mean, I think we're going to take it. We're going to roll with it there. And I'm hoping we found the dog here in Josh Garcia. 34 in true talent. Drafted him at 39. He makes the 50-50 balls look like 80-20. Elite speed will keep defenses honest. Ability to stretch the field. Normal dev, but look at that speed. 99 speed, 97 acceleration. I mean, again, you're giving J.R. Bates those opportunities there, and I'm pretty happy about it. We will head to the next pick. So we have 2 third-round picks. Pretty close to each other. I kind of want to see what we got here. I'm hoping that Sam linebacker is there, but there's a big chance it is not, and it is not. So you got the CB there that I liked. Sam linebacker is gone. I figured we were going to have to reach for that. So you do got a CB here. He's the only CB that was on our board. He's projected to be a second, third rounder. I mean, he's got all the speed, but he's not that great. His college pro day showed like he was a little bit better. Recon drill, not so much. I think this is more of a zone cat. He's more of a man cat. So I don't know. I mean, that's one where I'm probably not willing to take a chance there. Willing to kind of work through it and see if we can find some other pieces here where we can now. You do got Phillip Silvers that's still out there. You got a Mike linebacker that's projected to be in the 3rd, 4th round. I mean, pretty solid linebacker there. Block shed's good. It's right where we want the 3rd round to be. I mean, these are the players we'd want them to be at. So I think you gotta think about that, right? Do we want to work with it? His A awareness is very intriguing, and I think that's the part right there where I'm like, I want to take a chance on that. I want to grab this player here, and I want to work with it. Marco Wilson's only 21 years old as well. I think that helps us out. We get to fulfill a need, which is in that space, and he's 42 in true value. We drafted him at 71. More than enough speed to play NFL, linebacker in NFL. High football AQ. Can be trusted to make tackles in open field. Hidden dev, 90 speed, 89 acceleration, 80 jumping, 78 strength. So we got a guy that I know could take over as a Mike linebacker for us. I think that's super helpful in the future, and it works out there for us. Now we got pick 73 coming up. I wanted to get Marco Ramirez. We got a wide receiver now. We got some pieces there. We got a tackle. But then look at, folks, There's another player here, and I don't know why. Oh, wait. Oh, I think they took the left tackle. Oh, I guess they did. Wow, they snagged up that 6'8" guy. What the heck? I mean, you still got some other players there, but I mean, I don't really care for a QB in that range. We got some wide receivers here. Not much of a difference in that space. We could go after the tight end. He's more of a day 3 guy. Or we could go after a player here that's projected to be a UDFA. And I think you try to snag him now. You give us a chance to work through it. But, I mean, do we take this guy right here? I think I would rather go after a guard. Alex Ramirez. I mean, his combine isn't screaming great, but if he's got a 2-3 overall, I mean, that's going to help us out from the get. He's only 21 years old at North Carolina. You grow him and you let him stand behind mock and you work through it. So 16 true value, drafted him at 73. Quick feet, strong hands, stands ground for power moves, bullied finesse rushers in college, hidden dev. So we got a guy we can grow, build him up, work through it there. I think that's a very solid 3rd round. So we're in the 4th round now, and we got, again, some really early picks in the round, and that's going to give us an opportunity to try to, again, snag up some guys that we really believe in and that we think can work through it. Now, there's some day 3 guys here that are fitting that range. None of them scream amazing. When I look at the combine and stuff, no one is standing out. They're bigger receivers, so you got to take that into account. But to get a 4'6" freaking tight end, you might as well just rock with Sims and you'd be okay with it. I want to look at the potential attributes there. And I think when you're in this range here, right, round 4, you start taking some shots on guys that you think can work out. And I really, I like this tight end here. Chad Richards from USC. He's very versatile. I think he can work out for us. B run block, but then he's got B C catching and B catching traffic. He's a good size. I think he's going to help us out. And then we'll see some competition there. He's a little older, but 6'3", 241. He's a very big freaking tight end. So I'm happy to take him here. 119 in true value, drafted him at 103. Reliable hands, excellent speed for a tight end. Intermediate route running is sloppy, so we got to work through that. Normal dev, but 85 speed, 85 acceleration. I'll take that all day, man. We drafted a right tackle, so I'm really pumped about that. We need to look at a potential safety. We got a Mike already, and now it's our chance to try to maybe look at some defensive tackles and see where we go from there. Next pick is up, and we're pick 105. I'd like to see what we have here. I'm not sure if we're going to find anybody too crazy in this space, but, you know, we'll see what's up. There was a defensive tackle I was looking at, but it doesn't look like he is still around. You still got Dave Abbott, a day 3 guy here, field general, really like that. You do have an edge rusher that's considered day 3. We're basically in day 3 right now. So do you move on from that, or you go after a physical wide receiver here? My thing is, like, what is their catching, right? If their catching is solid, then I can build on it. When your catching is not solid and it's like a D, it makes me scared. Josh Hall is considered undervalued right now. He's got that release, but he's got some discipline issues. And when I look at that, it's like, would I rather do that or just take a chance on that UDFA that I saw that's more of a better overall? And I think that's what I would rather do. I'm not going to force a player like that. I would rather take a chance on some other guys like David Abbott and just continue to build that group and hope it all works out there. So I am willing to go after another linebacker here, coming from a good pedigree as far as Alabama is concerned. I mean, he could be a really good player. I think when you're in the 4th round, though, you might as well take a chance on this guy right now and just take him, Phillip Silvers. I mean, round 1, 2 overall, and he's a UDFA. His catching is there. He's got to work on everything else. He's going to be a project, folks, a really long project. But, I mean, with the overall where he's already at, you work through it and you take care of it. So welcome to the team, Phillip Silvers. Number 41 in true value. drafted at 105. Look at all those abilities there. Everything screams it. You can do it. NFL ready pass guy. This could be the Puka Nacua or freaking Cooper Kupp. Secure hands with defenders in the vicinity. Quick burst, create separation on short routes. Play the slot. Look at this. 92 acceleration, 87 speed, 94 change of direction. Oh my gosh, 97 agility. This is a player I'm excited to see out there. Normal dev, but I mean, if his overall is already solid, why the heck not? We'll take what we can get there, folks. We head to the next pick. So we got 3 picks in this round, and I think I want to see what we got left on the board here. Is there anything that screams incredible or possible? I mean, we got this day 3 guy here, Enrico Troop, that could still do his thing there, and I think I'd be cool with that. Got Rico Troop, 6 foot, 191, B press, C zone, help us out in the slot, and he's one of the faster guys. Not as agile. His change of direction is solid. B tackle though, B press, C catching. I mean, that's not a bad play right there. We don't necessarily need corners, but I think you just take the pieces that you can get where you can. And I mean, you take Rico Troop. We got a pick in 2 picks anyways. 151 in true value. Drafted him 135. Good knowledge on zone. Does he have NFL speed? Average recognition skills. I mean, he's going to be okay. A norm dev guy. But when it comes to the late rounds, it's all about just like having enough darts to throw at the board and hoping that one of these guys hits. Because if you can get a late rounder that really succeeds, you're in a huge position to move around from a cap standpoint. You can really get some good pieces there. Still a ton of wide receivers out there. None of them scare me. I definitely am considering some other looks here. I mean, I do want to check out this linebacker here in Dave Abbott. I think his jumping is poor and everything, but with the B awareness, he's going to be a solid player for us. Hopefully, maybe play some special teams. I'm going to wait another round for him now that I'm thinking about it, and I want to go after the guard that I see that is considered a round 3-4 value. You take these pieces and you roll with it, and you got to be happy. A impact block, 6'3", 330, strong as heck. I think he could be all right. He is a little older, 23 out of USF. But, you take that value, you run with it, and you got to be happy. 115 in true value. We drafted him at 137. He's got to work on his awareness, of course, but he's got that hidden dev. So, again, you get guys you can develop, guys you can kind of work with and be happy about. That's what I like right there. We get to just build this franchise up, and we got so many picks to do it. So, I'm pretty happy about that. As far as picks here that are coming up, it's our 3rd, 5th round pick here. So again, another dart to use. I mean, you can go after Julius Oliver now, or we could potentially wait on that. We can go after another wide receiver. We can take a chance on Dave Abbott, and that's what I'm going to do here. 22 years old at Alabama. He just continues to fall, so I say, why not? Let's take him here. Let's see what we can get. He is at 270, so he takes great angles, but that's pretty much it. So it's going to be a failure there from an overall standpoint. But what I'll do there is probably just put him in the practice squad, let him chill there, and we'll activate him if we need. We're in the 6th round now, and I'm assuming a lot of these picks have to be gone or close to it. And it's looking like that's the case. So a lot of day 3 wide receivers that are out there. None of them are intriguing to me to where I'm excited. I think what I'd like to do is probably just take another guard and kind of roll with it. I think that's nothing wrong with that. You take a piece that you're okay with. 22 years old at Auburn. You let him grow. Hopefully he works out. 176 in true value. We drafted him 167. And he's got hidden dev. So we found some nice gems in the late rounds here to just get this team moving in the right direction. I like that, man. I'm pretty happy. So we're in the 6th round now. This is our 2nd pick. And I think, folks, I am done with drafting. So what I'd like to do now is try to see if I can find a team that's willing to give me future picks. And it looks like the Texans are. It looks like the Vikings are. It looks like the Saints are. It looks like 6th round pick. 7th. So what I'd like to do is probably take from the Seahawks. Probably from the Vikings. I think the Vikings aren't that great. I think you take I take the Vikings. You take a 6th and the 7th round next year and you roll with it. And I'm glad we did that. You give a chance for us to just kind of collect some picks. And we got 4 picks in the 7th round. So I'm wondering now, could we get some trades there? So we're going to go ahead and give up these picks. I might draft one player, but I'm not trying to do anything too crazy. Titans trying to give us a 2028 and 2029 7th. I'll take that. And let's see if we can get some other pieces here. Got to pick at 201. Now that we're here, you got some guys like 6'2", 225, Elliott Olsen, who's truly a day 3 guy, still out there. You got Virgil Mills, a 6'4", 222 wide receiver. You got Chad Caldwell. He's still out there. This is a defensive tackle. We need one. I don't think there's anything wrong with seeing what he's got here. He's not bad. He's a late round pick as a 7th round flyer. Block shit's not great, but he's got decent power move. And I think you take a chance with it. 22 years old, Chad Caldwell. Oh, I thought it was going to be great. It is not. So he's probably going to be one of those guys that we'll put on the practice squad. We let him roll there. We let him see what happens. And you are chill about it. We got a ton, 2 more 7th round picks there. Texas want to give us a 6th. I'll do that. I'll take that all day. And I think we got one more pick. It's the last pick of the draft. So do we sign a Mr. Irrelevant here, or do we trade him away? And I think I'd like to see what we got here. We can get a 2028 6 from the Bears. That's not bad. The Jets will give us the 7ths, the next future 7ths. Eagles willing to do that. The Colts are willing to do that. I'll see what's out there. Let's see what Mr. Irrelevant would do. You got a guy in Olsen that's still out there. You got a guy in Chad Otten that's still out there. Is there anybody in the combine that screamed amazing? Not really. You got Olsen, a 4.42. Small, dude, what? Sharif Melton. It's another DT that's still out there. Nothing is too insane here. I think you take the long snapper, Tony Quincy. I think you roll with that. Last pick of the draft, you get a long snapper. You'd be happy with it. 199 true value, draft him at 224. Looks strong on tape. Mental lapses are too frequent. So maybe let him just kind of chill and work through it. But draft is over, folks. Let's see what our recap shows us here. How do we look? Are we solid? Are we not? So we drafted Alan Wilcox, 74 overall with the hidden dev. He was around 1-2 range, and we drafted him at 7th overall. Not bad. You're going to let him grow. He'll be behind McKivitz, man. And then we snagged up Josh Garcia, who ends up being a solid pickup there, 75 overall. And with 99 speed, 97 acceleration, 77 release, this guy has an opportunity to be a starter now. We picked up Marco Ramirez, ends up being ridiculous. 75 overall, hidden dev. All the attributes to be an incredible player for us. And again, our linebackers are going to get really strong here. Then we went after Alex Ramirez, 73 overall, out of North Carolina. He's going to be behind Cody Mock. But this is good right here. You're talking about a player that has the size and speed, size and weight to play on the tackle side. So if we need to move McKivitz to the right tackle, we probably could. Chad Richards ended up not being so crazy, but 68 overall, I can't complain. I mean, you got a guy that could do what he needs to do there. And then here's Philip Silvers, normal dev, 6 foot, 185, 75 overall. This guy right here could be he could be a Wes Welker, he could be a Julian Edelman, he could be a freaking Cooper Kupp. I mean, this is a really solid player with 84 catching from the get. So we got some really good young wide receivers that I wanted. Rico Troop didn't turn out so well there. I mean, you got Jaden Christie with that hidden dev as a 69 overall. So we know he's going to be able to have an opportunity to grow. You know, a late round pick. Why the heck not? We grabbed Dave Abbott. Ends up not being so great. He's going to probably be playing on the practice squad for a while. Then we grabbed Julius Oliver, another hidden dev guy. So we got 2 guards that are going to have an opportunity to grow. And you're talking about big news right there for our guys. Not so great for Chad Caldwell. And then our long snapper is a 66 overall. Mr. Irrelevant, but you take him and you roll with him and you're happy about it, man. I think that's what comes down to it. You're happy about what you got. Ain't no way you're rocking number 1, my dude. That's got to go to a wide receiver. So we're going to have to definitely change the numbers along the way, but that ain't happening. I'll give you 66 or something, but you ain't rocking number 1 with us. Not gonna did. So pretty solid draft. We grabbed a lot of players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 players. That means we're probably going to have to cut some guys, and that's fine. As far as the rest of the draft, right? So let's see what the Jets did. How did they do? They got a 79 overall player in Eric Fernandez. He was 2 picks after us. I could have went after him, I guess, but I wanted that tackle. They ended up getting another tackle, though, and Lance Claridge, very good. 75 overall. They get that left tackle that they needed. Freaking solid right there. The Patriots snagged up a 74 overall right tackle in Manny Villa. Then they went after Brian Ware. I think that's the big dog. So they snagged him up. I think that's the 6'8" guy. It's a good move for them. You can't. So it's the Jets, the Patriots, and what did the Bills do? The Bills got a 75 overall corner in Jeremy Fryer, 71 overall wide receiver in Sheehan, and then Adrian Sampson. Okay, not bad at the end there. As far as overalls are concerned, who was the best? And it was freaking by a mile the generational talent in Landon Shepard. 85 overall. He's going to be a freak. Rudy Hall was an 82 overall. Lamar Price, 81 overall. Dom Thomas, running back, 81 overall. Drafted in the 2nd round. Everyone passed him up. Damian Washington, there's that corner right there. I mean, he looked pretty solid. You got Tom Hampton, 79. Cody Samuel to the Panthers there. I think that's a good move for them. Oscar Guerrero, 79. There's Morgan Smith there. I mean, some pretty good players. I wouldn't expect the quarterbacks. There wasn't too many. There was another one. Emmett Baker, 75. A lot of strong safeties up in this range. Cam Hurst. I think that's who I was looking at. And in order for us to get him, we would have had to draft him in the 2nd round. And I didn't think he was worth that value there early in the 2nd. Nick Castillo. Okay, that's another good tight end. Corner 70. There you go. Look, Ramon Escobar, 74 overall. Pretty good there. You know, we got Wilcox, 7th overall. But, I mean, you get that hidden dev, you got to be happy about it. So, all in all, pretty solid draft. I mean, I got to look at my roster now. I'm pretty sure we're over the limit. Or maybe we're exactly at the limit. I can't remember. Well, no, we're going to have to cut somebody in the next setup. So we have 76 players on the team. It looks like Dexter Griffith got hurt on practice or something. Yeah, he's out with a quad strain. But we got to figure out who to cut right now. And I think it's going to be not Logan Rogers for the preseason. I think we got to think about a player to cut right now. Let's look real quick. So we actually got a couple guys here, and since we drafted 2 guards, I think it's okay to let go of someone like Jared Kingston. We wish him the best of luck. We drafted 2 guys with hidden devs, though. Let them kind of grow, let them work through it. There's a couple other players that we'll probably let go in this upcoming this upcoming preseason. But I'm happy, right? We got some guys that could really potentially play sooner than later. And Fa'alele, man, I'm wondering if you move him out to tackle, could he do something? But we'll work through it along the way here. I really feel like we got some good dogs, man. It's going to be fun to see some of these guys step up here. I'm going to move Amari Barno over to the opposite side there. See if we can get him going. He's kind of a player that's been lost in the sauce, but I mean, we picked up some really good players, and Sam Williams, Tyree Wilson, David Ajobo. I mean, there's some pieces there. I think we're going to move Williams over to the opposite side, give him a chance to start there or at least play backup, because I want to make sure we have depth on both sides. Yeah, Ajabo's on one end, and then Omosu. Yeah, that's good. So we're going to see these guys kind of fight for that spot. And, I'm hoping this D-line really does what it needs to do. We don't have a Sam, unfortunately, but we do have KJ Britt, and, I mean, we got some good players here. Wonder if we can move Abbott. No, not Abbott. Move Jamin Davis to Sam. That's probably the move right there. Jamin Davis, I think he played for Kentucky in college. I really liked him, man. I wanted the Giants to draft him, and just it didn't turn out much, but it could have just been, him playing for the freaking Commanders. We don't have enough wills. We got to make sure we are good there. Maybe I'll move Dave Abbott to the will. Maybe we'll see a little bit more action from him. Linebacker space is a little thin, but can't complain about that. We got that. We got tons of freaking corners. So I know with where we're at right now, we don't really have to draft any more corners. I could see us moving these guys maybe to a practice squad. These 4 on the bottom right there, and then rolling with the rest. I think the safety group, Seth Trout's probably going to go back. We're going to rock with Cross and Savage. And we got enough corners to kind of play back there too. So we still got, we got enough picks for setting us up for 2028. Again, you get a decent amount of moves and you work through it. But looking forward to seeing how we're going to play, folks. It's going to be fun. We won't be doing anything pre-season. We'll just jump into week 1. In the next episode. But that'll do it for today, everybody. If you like what you saw, please drop a like, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and most importantly, subscribe to keep up with the series. I appreciate everyone that stopped by today. Y'all have yourself a good one, and as always, let's go Elk.